So down here on my table, this is the foot spot because I usually will play one pocket and I watch TV and bullshit like that. But for purposes of making videos, I usually treat this area as the foot of the table, and that's what I'm going to do right now. And just to make it slightly more official, I'll put one of these little reinforcement doohickeys there on the foot spot or the foot spot because I want to talk about those kind of shots. Shooting a ball in off the foot spot is probably one of the most common shots there is. Both in one pocket and bank full, you have to spot a ball up if it goes in the wrong pocket. You have to spot a ball up if you foul. This kind of thing happens a lot. So these are the kind of shots that are very worthy of being practiced. And for a lot of the really good players, especially like a bank shot like this, would be in the category of should never miss this shot. I mean, Alex probably missed his shot when he was 8 years old, hasn't missed it since. That type of deal. Now I miss this shit all the time, but I bet I'm still 80% on these shots that are nice and simple, cross corners, cross sides. You also have your shots where you're gonna cross off. Here's one that comes up a lot. So you're playing one pocket, and you need one ball, and that's your opponent's pocket. So he only needs one ball. You don't really want to give it to him unless you don't like money. So you go and you follow this in. Spot up. One you just made. I know this is already getting old. Spot up the other one that you had. And so now your opponent has the ball in hand. Opinions vary widely on what you're supposed to do right here. What you're supposed to do with ball in hand if that's your pocket. Okay. What was it, Shane? I think Shane just the other day went and did this shot. I think John Henderson called it a dipsy doodle. But the three went in. And Shane made, I think, that won the match. Not saying that's the right shot to shoot. Maybe if you're Shane, it's the right shot to shoot. But if you're somebody like Dave, probably not. Another shot that a lot of the guys use, especially it seems like a lot of the Filipinos, a lot of the top Filipinos, Dennis, he'll just, okay, I'll just bank to 14. I can't believe you left me there. That's kind of the attitude he seems to project a lot. Just do that, except the 14 goes in. And you're like, man, I can't believe I left him that bullshit. But there it goes. Anyway, another shot, which is probably much more common and much more reasonable, is just play safe. Just play safe off this shot. I was lined up now. I don't know. I have a line off here. That's a real foot into the table, but down there I don't. Anyway, probably much more common is to just kind of play safe. If you're this guy, and at this point you need one, so you just come off this like that, get the cue ball down there, move the balls kind of towards your side a little bit. Maybe this was wrong. Don't know, but that's a general consensus, general idea. And again, some of the top players will do that. Tony Choyan, I've never seen him shoot that dipsy doodle shot or try that bank shot. Never seen it. In this situation, he plays safe. And of course, when he shoots it, this ball's nailed to the rail like that. There are reasons that these people are top players because they can do shit like that. Another shot that comes up. This comes up more often in bank pool. And if you're unless you're playing a top banker, a lot of times you can get away with it. Say you're playing bank pool and you're both on you both need one. So obviously I can't bank this 14. I don't want to get off the hill, so I don't want to follow it in like I just showed. So I said, well, maybe this guy sucks. And just shoot it. Leave him sitting right there. This ball spots up. And now it's the opponent's turn. This is a shot that you have to shoot a lot. This comes up a lot. And Danny DiLiberto, he kind of favors leaving this as opposed to trying to do something else. Like I could have made it 14 and sent the cue ball up table. If your speed's really good, that's probably better to do that. But I think most people at my level, maybe upper middle class and below, we just leave it here. But then the opponent comes up and he's got a shot that in theory he should have been practicing a lot and be able to put it in. I'm going to shoot that one more time just because that was close. I know. So I shoot that shot off enough that I feel like I'm better than 50-50 on that shot normally. I really do. There's some spot shots. You can get tricky. You can, if you're playing one pocket and this is the head, we'll just go back to bank. If you're playing banks, and you don't feel like crossing it here, and you don't feel like crossing it here, but you might be able to two rail it up in the corner, up here. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can't. But you can at least shoot that shot pocket speed. It's where the cue ball was down here. That was kind of a safest shot. I actually won a match at Derby a couple of years ago. I'm trying to figure out why I did what I did. I'm going to put a ball there. I'll put it on a kiss angle, so there's no kiss there. Yeah, let's do that. And then I think there was a ball about right here. Anyway, I'm really, 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 really bad at examples. But this is the gist. Is I didn't feel like I could cross corner this because of the placement of this ball. I felt like maybe the cue ball might hit it. So the cue ball would get out of the way. I couldn't straight back it because of this. So I called it 4 rails. I called it 4 rails in that corner. And I guess I must have had ball in hand because I was definitely up here with ball in hand. Or definitely up here. Yeah, I guess I must have ball in hand. But I only need one. And again, we have to pretend the ball went in. But it did. It went in. So that's cool. It's just Maxim Dudanet, something like that. Good player. Young player. And there were some shots he just hit fantastic. I left him about this shot like 4 times in our match. We raced to 3, right? And 4 times, yeah, I stood up. He banged it right back here. Just like can't believe you landed on that, you idiot. That's not what he did. And this is the point of the video where I finally get to the point. This is the point. This is the moment of the video where I finally get to the point of what I was going to talk about. And that's shooting a ball the right way, the safe way, or giving yourself the best chance of shooting it. If I am playing bank pool and I get this shot, and because at this point we will need one. Can that even work? I don't know. I'm probably going to pocket speed this 14. I'm probably actually going to put the cue ball about right here just to make damn sure I don't get a kiss. And I'm going to try to shoot to the 14 at more or less pocket speed. So if it doesn't go in, it's at least up here somewhere, right? There are people, and I have been one of those people in the past, especially, if I've been playing for a while that day and I feel like I'm hitting pretty good. Or let's say I need one, my opponent needs three, and there's two balls right here. Anywhere tied up. I don't have to worry about my opponent running out on me if I miss. I'm going to just give myself the best chance of making this damn shot. With my best chance of making this shot, that speed right there. Problem with that, like playing bank pool, is if those balls weren't there and my opponent only needed this 14, there's probably a spot involved at this point. Oh, maybe the guy, I don't even know. But if that's the only ball on the table, and we both need one ball, I should not be shooting this at my best speed. I should be soft rolling this ball. Because look what happens. It becomes a little bit random. I mean, sure, I can drift a cue ball down this way and try to hit it with the speed where if I miss, it'll come all the way back up here and back up here somewhere like it was doing. Yeah, but what if the 14 comes back and hits a ray or hits the points in the pocket and kind of rattles that? I doubt I can do that on purpose. Yeah. But if it rattles out and goes anywhere, it kind of becomes kind of random. Where did it go? So this shot at firm speed is not very safe. It's probably safe more often than not, especially if you can get the cue ball to drift forward a little bit. If I can get the cue ball to drift forward a little bit, get the cue ball on that short rail, keep making the damn ball when I don't want to. Odds are the 14 was not going to rattle around and end up back down there and leave a bang. So it's kind of safe, but it's not the safest way to shoot a shot. Safest way to shoot the shot is like I did earlier. It's shoot at pocket speed. Then you've got the direction of the cue ball, or the speed of the cue ball, although I did bounce quite a bit, and this at the same time. So there was a local guy here in Louisville named Tiger Dahl, and he's passed away. But he was the one that convinced me that if you have ball in hand on a spotted ball, he's the one that convinced me that it's entirely possible to just shoot the ball in. Just treat it like a duck. Even though those cue balls traveling, 1, 2, 3, 4 feet, the object ball traveling 2 and then 9 feet. Tiger, he probably missed his shot in 1967 and never missed it again. I missed it, what was that, a third of the time? But it was a little bit eye opening for me because it was when I first started playing bank pool, that this shot with ball in hand, you know where everything is, you can just practice this shot like Tiger would do. Just practice, get really good at the shot. Yeah, he was really, really good at the shot. I'm nowhere near as good as he was at the shot. And that's the kind of shit I do. I put English on a ball sometimes. I'm rambling. Tell you another thing that happens, and this happened to me, like 3 or 4 years ago at Derby. Playing a guy, and that's the foot of the table. And he shot this and tried to corner it. He shot that in, knowing it would spot up, and he tried to corner hook. Fairly common, fairly strategic shot, but he didn't quite corner hook me. And I was sitting here looking at yet another choice that people have to make. I did not like anything to do with trying to play a safety. I don't know why, but I did. Maybe because I'm an offensive player generally. Just if I want to play offensive on the shot, assuming that bagging it cross corner into there is not going to be an option, then my choices are kind of here. Bank it straight back here. Bank it back to me. I suppose a four railer. Let's not count the four railer either. So a lot of people will take the shot and bank it back to them. Just one rail straight back to them because they can hit that at a speed. It keeps the ball separate. Would have liked to have gotten closer than that. That was pretty crappy. Things about the shot though is it's not as safe as it could be. And maybe that's slightly better. Slightly is I left a straight back. I left some distance, but the guy could straight back to 14 down there. So sure, it's probably safer than the next thing I'm going to demonstrate or attempt to demonstrate, but it's still not super safe. What I did against this guy was I just called it straight back. And because this is a shot that I had been working on actually the day before our match, I've been working on it. Who did I see shoot? Oh, Jonathan Penninger. I saw him fire in like 3 times in a row. And like when I got home, I'm like, I got to try that shit. And I did. And I probably never made it. But in this match, I did make it. I got to pretend that I make stuff. Watching my videos, the power of imagination is really important. If having balls go in pockets is really important because I don't do a lot of it, especially when I'm talking. At least my cat's not down here bugging me now like she usually is when I'm talking. So, yeah, so what was I getting at? Oh, I was getting at depending on the game, depending on the opponent, sometimes you have to shoot a shot in a way that is not giving your best odds of making it. Sometimes you have to turn it into a two-way shot. And for me, that's by hitting those balls at pocket speed. Hitting some of those balls at pocket speed is never going to be my choice to try to cinch a ball. Because I hit banks firmly. But, if it's less than 50-50 or 60-40, whatever, opinions vary, sometimes it's really reckless to give it your best speed if that doesn't even put you to where you're going to make it. If I'm 50-50 at slow speed and I'm only 60-40 at fast speed, a lot of times that extra 10% isn't enough to justify me firing a ball in and ending up with more or less random lead for my opponent. I don't know if any of that made sense. I feel like I really, really rambled the last part. That's kind of my point is know what your actual true abilities are. And this has been a struggle for me. My average game is not as good as I think it is. Unless I really start to study myself and think about exactly what was doing, how many shots did I miss, that type of thing. But no, if you have ball in hand on a spawn shot and you got to bank it, shooting it at a firmer speed, how much is that going to help you? Is it going to put it into, I'll never miss a shot category like Tiger Null? Or are you more like a normal person and it might just bump you up 10% or something? Because that makes a difference. And so much about pool is just being aware of your own abilities along with your opponent's abilities and your opponent's inclinations on what they might do depending on what you leave them. That guy tried to corner hook me and he didn't. But he's thinking, oh, there's no way in hell that guy's ever going to fire that straight back. He's going to play some kind of a safety. So he wasn't particularly worried. Should have been, but he wasn't. He did not know my inclinations and abilities when it came to that shot on that particular night. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop now. It is Friday. It doesn't matter to me. I work all weekend every week anyway. But some people are like to celebrate that it's Friday. So later.